All right.
Are we back? All
We
right.
are
I was just checking the
back.
weather. It rained earlier. It's Friday at 1 o'clock. Then it was sunny, and now it looks cloudy and rainy again. So I don't know. But either way, back to another edition of Live Feed Read. I'm Paul Reed, your host, with the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, Jason Crawford.
Yep.
Like I said, it's Friday, February 3rd, 2023. It's
Yeah.
a little bit after 1 o'clock. Thanks for joining in again if you are, or thanks for watching it at a later date if you do.
Yeah.
We've got the law dog here joining us, Millie. Yeah,
Hey,
Millie Light
Millie.
had a birthday. The camera, what happened? Got a little blurry here.
Oh, when your hand moves across it temporarily focused on your hand.
No, how do I
Yeah.
focus it?
Do that again. Center your face. Yeah, get centered like that.
That's a hideous thing.
That.
But it's definitely blurry. I don't know. Nothing I can do about it, I guess.
Maybe it's better that way.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. All right. So what were we talking about today? Oh, interesting topic. Jason, who seems to peruse the internet more than I do, came up with an issue as it relates to booby traps.
Yeah, we were talking about trespassers last week, too.
Yes, that's a good point. And then we spun it into trespassers and booby traps. And booby traps are simply a device that a property owner puts, in or about his property to protect it from, trespassers, basically burglars or individuals that are trying to break into your vehicle, your house, your shed, your barn, things of that nature.
Yeah, because lo and behold, the internet's always listening. And us talking about trespassers last week, I started to see advertisements pop up for things like spikes you can put on your fence to keep trespassers out, and like some of these things look dangerous, man.
That's funny you say that, because I didn't think about it, but in New Orleans, we've gone there a few times, and I've literally seen people have broken glass top of the fence. So it's not spiked, but it's like a beer bottle, a wine bottle, a Coke bottle of jagged broken glass. Now, of course, it looks stupid, but I guarantee you it does the trick.
Yeah, for sure. When I was in Venezuela, I was living there for like 2 months in between high school and college, and a lot of the homes there that I was around, at least, they had like they're not cement, but they kind of are, the brick fencing that goes around like the neighborhood thing, and it had broken bottle bits just like cemented right into the top. Everybody knew you don't climb those.
All right, well, you got a clip?
Yeah. Here we go. So, we want to look at some booby traps, huh?
Yeah, you showed me one that was pretty cool.
I got you. Here.
I can't watch all the crap Jason sends me. I would not be able to work or sleep. Yeah. Obviously, Jason doesn't work or sleep.
Yeah, neither of those things.
And he has 4 kids, so don't ask me.
Let me get your face back here. Where did it go? There you are. There we are. Okay, so now we can see everything. Cool. Yeah, so here it is. And then the door opens and the blowtorch burns his hair. Oh, wait a minute.
Now, which one are you showing? You showing Home Alone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Kevin McAllister, the epitome of a booby trapped house.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you ever want to get some ideas, don't watch that movie. No, but here's the other one where the guy gets into.
This is the truck outside.
Yeah,
his apartment or otherwise.
Yeah, the man pulls out, busts the dude's window, and apparently he's been doing it a lot. And then he goes to reach and get inside the car, and boom, it blows up. And he
flashbangs. Yeah. The things the cops use to stun you.
Yeah, you don't want one of those going off in your face.
Is that what
I don't know if it.
Did you just show it? Because I can't see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So then so let's just jump into it. Let's continue on that thought. Back in the mid '80s, there was a shop owner in Miami, and his establishment was getting broken into constantly. And evidently they were coming, this individual.
Commercial, like a business, right?
Yeah, they were coming through the roof. So they would basically saw a hole in the roof shimmy down, shimmy down into the place, take it. He had looks like he had jewelry and clothing and things of that nature.
Okay, wow.
So what does shop owner do?
Any number of things.
He rigs up a booby trap.
Okay, yeah.
This one was wire mesh attached to an extension cord and plugged into the wall. So it was an electrified booby trap.
Tied into the wall. So it was right into the breaker?
Yeah, so I think they said it was 115 volts. And so Mr. property owner thought, well, that might shock someone, but it won't kill him, right?
Okay.
Guess what Mr. Shop owner was?
Not an electrician.
And he was wrong.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Thief goes in, grabs his booty or his bounty, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then when he's climbing out, guess where they found him the next day? Halfway out the hole, still holding on to a radio, I believe, that he is trying to steal.
Yikes.
So the state attorney in Miami charges Mr. Shop owner with manslaughter.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Jason, what happened to Mr. Shop owner in Miami?
Okay. I don't know if there's a difference between your commercial property and your other, so I don't know.
Let's assume there's not.
That's a good question. All right.
Well, fair enough, but let's assume there's not because there's not.
Okay. Fair enough. I think he's responsible in that case. I don't know though, because we talked last week and there was the thing about the felony, but I don't know when this happened.
1986.
Okay, so that was before the felony thing that we talked about last week.
Well, the felony had to do with this was before then. Correct.
Okay. I would think he's responsible.
Well, whether he was or wasn't, when it comes to a situation such as this, oftentimes the state attorney, the government in this case, prosecutor, will convey a grand jury. Basically, that's a people that are brought together. They hear the evidence and they decide whether or not to charge or someone should be charged with a crime. That's the simplistic view, but that's what happens. And it happens here in Tampa as well. Grand jury, you can ask them, here, these are the facts. Do you think that this individual should be charged with a crime? Guess what the grand jury in Miami said? I'll give you a hint. They said no.
They said no.
They said no.
Okay.
All right. So Mr. Property owner here dodges the bullet. John.
Yeah.
Now you see me. Now you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and here's now where it gets scary. So based on that case, Frick and Frack, two legislators down in Miami.
Wait, those are the real names?
Yeah, Frick and Frack.
Wait, are those code names?
Yeah, Frick and Frack. They filed a bill that makes electrifying your property legal.
Okay.
And they go further and say, and should somebody be killed, it's justified homicide. Well, that never happened. It never made it into law. And so, but they threw it out there. So just so you know, Floridians, it is still not legal to booby trap your property in order to protect it. Just that simple. You can take reasonable measures to ensure your property safety, which is, of course, alarm systems and cameras and things of that nature.
I've seen those ring
doorbells. But I was reading some of the appellate courts, and it says, look, burglary of a closed business, there's no death penalty in Florida for that.
Burglary of a closed business.
Well, yeah, at night you go,
Oh, yeah.
Walmart or
Okay.
they're not going to kill
After hours.
someone. They're breaking in to steal. Remember, there are exceptions. If you're in your place and you think someone's going to do great bodily harm, blaze away, so to
Sure.
speak. But this
I think
is
do you still have in Florida, do you still have a duty to warn
not
before you?
anymore. Remember,
Okay.
the stand your ground. If you're in your home, they call it your castle. You're
Castle.
pretty much, it's assumed that you're in my home to do me harm.
Got you. Okay. Yeah.
But that having been said, you know, uh, and you and I talked about that earlier. And you got to remember, let's just say you booby trap whatever your barn, your shed, your house, and you go away for a week for vacation, right? Well, what, Jason, you hadn't thought about it, but I said, what could go wrong? What could happen? And let's just say you have
Yeah.
a spring-loaded shotgun where someone opens the door, boom.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. Maybe you hurt somebody you didn't intend to. That wasn't a person trying to break in. You're just trying
Like
to
your house is on fire, and the fireman's got to come in,
shows
and
up.
you shoot
Yeah,
him in
yeah.
the chest.
There it is.
Yeah.
Or you forget. How about that one? You forget.
Well, that would be poetic justice. But
Boy. Oh man, or a child. You mentioned if a child.
well, a child, anybody. I mean, so
Girl Scout
there
comes up
there
trying
are a
to sell
lot
you a Girl
of
Scout cookie.
legitimate reasons why you can't do it, and so don't do it.
Yeah.
One of the cases I read, I forget where, but somebody dug a tiger pit in their backyard, and a trespasser fell in it.
Wait. What?
A tiger pit.
Man, you gotta have serious money to dig a tiger pit,
Well,
man.
yeah,
Like
and
what? Is this a
exactly.
Tiger King thing?
Well, it's funny. It just said, "See Carol Baskins."
Oh my.
So
She's the
anyway,
legal expert.
the things that people do
Yeah.
and still do.
So let me ask you a question then.
Yeah,
This
sure.
doesn't have to be an official legal advice thing. This is Paul's opinion, right?
Yeah.
But what would you say is a physical deterrent, like I could put on my fence or whatever, that's not a booby trap? So I've been seeing people do these carpet
Oh,
tack
well,
strips and
well,
line the top of
you could
those.
line your fence with barbed razor wire
Okay.
because it's visible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, having said that, if a child tries to climb your fence and he gets all sliced up, you're going to be
Yeah.
responsible.
There's different. It seems like there's different a level of responsibility you have to take to protect your
There are,
kids. Yeah.
children are one thing, and adults are another for sure.
Because I think we
Because
expect them to
you've
not
got
be
in Florida, you've got the attractive nuisance doctrine, and I'll give you an example.
right. Yeah, we've talked about
Growing
that. Go ahead.
up, we weren't allowed to cross Highway 60. We lived on the north side of 60, State Road 60, and we were not allowed to cross to go to the south side, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Period. That was a beating waiting to happen, and we never did
Yeah.
until one day they evidently were going to build a business, something on the corner of 60 and on this side, I think it's John Moore or Parsons. But anyway, right on the corner. So we go up to 60 and we see the dirt mound from, it stretches to the heavens.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
talk about an attractive nuisance. So
Can I just pause for a second?
sure.
We were supposed to be going to church one night on a Wednesday, and my mom, was trying to wrangle us all together and get us to go in, and I was outside playing in just a pile of mud, and I had shoved my face down in it, and she was so mad. She's like, "Why aren't you ready to go yet?"
Yeah.
And I was
Well,
like, "Yeah,
exactly.
it's a
Kids
pile
and
of dirt,
dirt.
Mom. It's calling me."
Exactly. Well, so this mound called us too. So we were on our bicycles,
Yeah.
and 60 wasn't like it is now. It might have been 2 lanes in each direction. Believe it or
Yeah.
not, Jason, with a stop sign. There wasn't even a red light there.
You're
But
old.
we crossed the street and we're playing, dude.
Okay.
We're carrying our bikes up and we're riding down and we're
Yeah.
playing and playing. and all of a sudden, I forget if it was me or Jody or Lee, somebody said, "There's your mom." Dude, I personally started crying immediately.
Oh man.
Because we were in trouble.
Yeah.
And guess what? We were in trouble.
Just too far coming after you.
I'm just thinking I think we waited, we rode our mom, get home, I think literally we cried all the way home. But so yes, kids are one thing and adults are another. The attractive nuisance doctrine and things of that nature. Right. Here's your problem is in this business, personal injury.
Yeah.
If someone is injured enough, then there's going to be some attorney that will take the case to try to make a point that the person that injured you did something wrong or did not do something or otherwise.
Yeah, because isn't some of the language doesn't it say like within reason or a reasonable calls reasonable damage or unreasonable damage or something?
You can take reasonable. What's it say? Okay, so while the law authorizes an owner of property to protect it by such reasonable means, consideration for humanity preclude him or her from setting out, even on his own property, traps and devices dangerous to human life or limb, even the trespassers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically the gist of it. When I looked at all the cases, what it comes down to.
I didn't think it was going to electrocute them to death.
And think about it. 99% of us are going to feel real bad if you do something like this and a kid gets hurt or an innocent person gets hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are
dig a pit for tigers and a kid
that aren't going to care, but there are. Now here's something interesting. In one of the cases, have you heard about the fireman's rule?
No.
Okay.
Not.
So
educate me.
Well, now the fireman's rule says the owner of property is not liable to police officers or firemen for injuries sustained during the discharge of the duties for which the police officer or the fireman was called. Meaning, you may have some defect in your house, right?
Okay.
I don't know, the stairs are broken and dilapidated.
Sure. Yeah. Hole in the front porch or something.
And there's a fire.
Yeah.
And you call the fire department. And the fire's upstairs and they're running up the stairs and the stairs collapse. Stairs collapse. Well, under this rule in Florida, the fireman can't sue you for your negligence.
Yeah, okay.
Same thing with a police officer, So if they're exercising their duties, as a police officer and a fireman, and they come onto your property and they get hurt, you can't be sued. Because what you don't want is people not calling the police, not calling the fireman, thinking, well, wait a minute, I've got to fix my stairs before the firemen come in and put out this fire because they're going to run up my stairs and I know 2 of them are broken and I'm going to get sued, so I'm not going to call the fire department and you burn the whole town down.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. Now, question is, if you set up a booby trap and the fireman or police officer comes to your house, are you responsible?
I think one is intentional, even though it may not have been intentionally set for them. I think one shows intent and the other one is mishap.
Well, you've been paying attention. That willful and wanton misconduct will not preclude you from being held responsible to the police officer or the fireman.
Okay.
Jason's been paying
You're educating me.
Paying attention here.
Where do I get my law degree?
All right. So all right. Well, let's do this. So that's it. It was pretty interesting. I saw the burglar get popped by the flashbang. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, last week it was the lady who tried to steal the package and then her foot.
Broken ankle. Yeah.
Yeah. That dangly.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Just remember, the guy in Miami got off because of 6 people or 10 people or 12 people, whatever the grand jury was, just said no. You get what you deserve. don't rely on that 6, 12, or 15 people to be on your jury, because you never know.
Yeah, especially today, I've heard
You don't know.
just since talking about this, like I see so many cases start popping up in
Hold
my
on,
YouTube
hold on,
now.
hold on.
Oh, did I hear a
Play my
siren?
song.
I have a neighbor with a loud car, and it was just going by as you said that, and I
Oh.
was like, ah.
All right, well, let's do this. Oh, look.
Yeah. What is that, Paul?
It's a book.
What book, Paul?
Well, it's The Other Side of the Law by Paul Reed and Jason's wife, Crystal.
Yeah.
This is the hardback. I just got it recently. It's pretty cool.
They are nice, man.
Paperback. I like this one. It's really nice. Look at that. I look like Men in Black. And then look who's on the back.
Millie.
Yes, yeah. Crystal. So if you haven't bought the book, it's at Amazon. It's at Goodreads.
Yeah, Goodreads, Amazon.
Yeah, I don't think too much. From the feedback I've gotten, it's pretty enjoyable. I think it's.
I hear a lot of people that are saying that they binge read it because it's very.
I think you'll get a kick out of it. To be honest, it's a couple hour read. I wish I could give them out free, but believe it or not, I got to pay for them too. I'm not sure how that works or why, but it is. And my only guess is, who owns Amazon?
Bezos.
I guess Bezos. He wants his money, so he ain't letting even Paulie buy his own book or get his own book for free. I got to pay for them too.
I hear a lot of people saying that they like to binge read them, and I think that most of what I've heard is that it's nonfiction, but it's a nice. I mean, some of the stories are almost unbelievable and borderline like, are you serious?
Well,
but it's just a good, authentic.
It is. The beauty is it's. Where can I see this? Let me go. What?
And the chili recipe in the back, my kids, they're
that's
asking for it every Sunday.
It's illustrated, but I got news for you.
Yeah.
The chili recipe in and of itself is worth the money.
Yeah.
You will forever have the best chili you'll ever make.
Yeah, we've had it a couple of times.
I forget who it was. I think it was Todd Feist, a buddy of mine. I forget how it came about, but I gave him the recipe, and dude, today he still raves about it.
Yeah, man.
Again, if nothing else, because this Super Bowl coming up, and you have to get the big pot, because everything you can't skimp on the ingredients. You got to get that
corn chips.
That big pot. Well,
the scoopers,
the corn chips. Yeah, that's a different level of.
Keep up in the game.
But and like I said, the book says that you can just do the ingredients that come in the Texas 2 alarm, which is it's spicy. So if your peeps don't like spice, it's still chili. Or then you can go add a little hot sauce, the sauce. You can do that over number of times to see what you like. Then you throw in the jalapenos if you want. That's a different level. And then if you want the ass flaming chili, that's when you put in the habaneros.
Yeah, man, just don't rub your eyes.
Don't rub your eyes. Don't pick your nose.
So I was cutting just jalapenos the other day. For putting them in, and dude, I went to scratch my eye afterwards. Oh,
yeah.
And I picked
the beauty of the jalapenos, they have them. They have them in the jalapenos. They're in a jar like relish. So that.
I got fresh ones. I got fresh ones.
But that makes it easy. If you're just looking for ease,
yeah.
Easy. But the habaneros, man. Here's what's going to happen with the habanero. You only need about 5. You cut them up, get 5 of them, cook it. Remember, it's an all day. Then you eat it later.
You can always add more.
Your nose is going to be running. Your eyes are going to be running.
Your legs are going to be running
dripping into your chili. Your chips are going to be on fire, but you can't stop eating it.
Yeah, no, it's good.
You're like,
it's good. Dude, we make it in like a giant pot now.
Well, you have to. Well, it's a big pot. You don't want to skimp on the ingredients. You got to make it like the book says. But
we just eat on it all day.
You buy this, if nothing else, you'll have the chili literally for the rest of your life. Because I make it whenever it gets cold, or sometimes when it isn't. it's a good cook because I started at about noon. I watched 4 or 5 hours of football and stirring it on on low, and then by 5 or 6 o'clock, it's all over but the crying. All right, so all right, well, we've been going on a half hour,
and then the next day comes.
We're gonna welcome Leanne Reed to the team.
Yeah, Leanne.
Jason, he was here earlier because I'm not exactly sure what she's going to do, but she's going to take clips from the show and then try to put them out at other social media sites to kind of get us more, make it more visible and maybe build this thing up into the Joe Rogan of podcasts.
Yeah.
So we have
more white men for the world to listen.
We have 1 billion followers. But until then, we'll be here on Fridays at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Trying to entertain you and educate you a little bit.
Yeah, and I would keep searching and scouring the internet for all the weird things to ask Paul, so you don't have to. But if you want to, hop in the comments and throw us some of your weird questions, and I will add them to what we look up. And
if you buy the book and you try the chili, I really want to know what you think as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, well, take us out. It's let me give you a weather update.
Yeah, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl too?
Let's see.
Philly. Who's left?
It's Philadelphia and
I'm not even following it. I'm not a football.
Yeah, I just went blank.
I usually wait until the very end to jump in. Was it
who beat San
Chiefs? Chiefs and Eagles?
Oh, that's it. Chiefs and Eagles. Neither. Yeah, I can't. In good faith, I can't root for any of them.
So the Niners didn't make it.
Purdy, God bless his soul. He got hurt. I think he tore a ligament. Might have to have Tommy John surgery. Once that happened, dude, they had a 4th-string quarterback. Guess what you're not going to do with a 4th-string quarterback?
Win a Super Bowl?
Win anything.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not ragging the 4th-string quarterback, but you barely play in practice. You don't play in a game, and you're playing the Eagles. You had no chance. You had no chance.
That's like the highest, most intense games. Like bring it
all,
leave it all.
I will be at the Super Bowl party. I won't be at the Super Bowl. Ryan and I go on a kind of a guy's trip to Heavenly, which is in Lake Tahoe. Fortunately, about 3 or 4 years ago, we got invited with some lawyers, doctors, and business owners, just guys that really want to party, ski, and party and party and party.
Go on,
and then limp home a little Monday. So it's fun. It's a good time. I hope everybody does have a good time. I still think the Super Bowl should be on a Saturday. It would be so much better that you could recover on a Sunday instead of theoretically having to get up and go to work. That's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
So everybody.
You know what? I feel the same about people taking their birthday off of work. I'm like, you should totally work on your birthday, right? And then go party and take the day after your birthday off.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I'm just saying there's no reason not to have the Super Bowl on a Saturday. I think there would be more TV attendance for longer periods of time and more parties, more this, more that. Because I got news for you. If the game's not very good in the first half, I'm tuned out. I'm going to bed. I'm doing something else. Whereas if it was Saturday night, well, you'd be more apt to watch it, to keep having a good time, keep going out and things of that nature.
Yeah, because you can still party.
Maybe we should get a campaign to email the NFL, change the game to Saturday.
Maybe we should instead go throw soup on a painting and glue our hand to a wall.
Well, we're not going to do that.
Fine. Fine.
All right. Well, get us out of here. It's rainy and cloudy, but the beauty is, I think if you ordered the book, no, it wouldn't come, but I think the weather's going to be chilly weather. Let me see. Saturday. 48.
The book so hard.
Yeah. All right. Take us out.
All right.